आज हम लोग सॉल्व करेंगे प्लस माइनस प्रॉब्लम। अगर इस प्रॉब्लम को देखें तो मेंशन किया हुआ है कि गिवन एन एरे ऑफ इंटीजर कैलकुलेट द रेशियो ऑफ इट्स एलिमेंट that are positive, negative and 0. Print the decimal value of each fraction, right, on a new line with 6 place after decimal. They have mentioned, right, 6 place after decimal value as output. You can see here, right. So what we have to do, you can see if they have given, right, in example they have given one array, right, and we have to count total number of these three types of value, right, total number of positive, total number of negative and total number of 0 value inside this array, right, and we have to print the ratio of that all element, right. Suppose they have given, if this array, you can see they have given n equals 5 because there are 5 element in this array, and we have to return ratio, right, print ratio. You can see that we have two integer value inside, two positive integer value inside this array, so we have print value as 2 by 5. It means that 0.400. If you can see next time, right, they have to also two negative value inside this array, so we will also print 2 by 5. It means 0.4000. and in last you can see we have, right, only one 0 value, so we have printed 1 by 5. It means that 1 0 out of 5 element, and we have printed 0.2000. Result as printed, you can see here, right. So let's discuss about this problem. If you will see, we have given one method, right, plus minus method, and we have to, right, print these things from this method. And if you will see input as we have taken, right, n, and we have taken an element in that array, right, and output format will be, suppose you can see first, right, if they have, right, 3 element, so first output will be, right, positive value. It means that ratio of that positive value. Second will be ratio of total negative value out of this 5, right, and third will be ratio of 0 value. So let's solve this problem. So you can see that, right, we have given one method, plus minus method, and we have to complete this method, right. This method is taking one argument as array, and we have to print this 3 outputs. Suppose our array, if let's discuss about last problem, if suppose our array is this one, right, so this function is taking array as this, and we have to print output like, right, this one same. So first first of this output will be, right, ratio of positive, another will be ratio of negative, and third will be ratio of 0. They have mentioned also here, right. If you will see output format, they have mentioned first for positive, second for negative, and third for 0. So let's solve this problem. For solving this problem, if you will see, we have to count total number of positive, negative, and total number of 0 inside that array. For counting this positive, we need to create variable for that, right. So first we will create variable. So here we will not create int variable, because if you will see, we have to print value as float, right. So here we will create float variable for counting. So we will create float we will create pos variable for positive value, and in starting we will put 0, so that next time whenever we will encounter positive value, we will increment the value of this pos variable. Whenever we will, right, encounter negative value, we will create, suppose neg variable. For that we will increment the value of this neg variable, and for 0 we have created also one 0 variable, right. And if you will see, right, we have to divide this all value by n, right. You can see, for example, they have divided 3 by 6, 2 by 6, 1 by 6. So this 3, 2, 1 is the total number of positive, negative, and 0, and this 6 is the size of that array. It means the total number of element inside that array. So we need n for that one. So let's create one n variable in n, and we will put total number of element in this n. So we will get, right, total number of element by one length attribute, that is array attribute. So we will use array dot length. This is the name of our array, because, right, you can see we have mentioned in parameter a, so we will use a dot length. It will return total number of, right, element in that array. So it will be put inside this n. We will start loop from 0 to n minus 1. For int I equals 0, I is less than n. We don't need to write n minus 1, because we have used less than operator, so that it will run before n, and I plus plus. Here inside this loop we will check, right, suppose if array of I is greater than 0, it means that that element of that array, right, at index I is positive, then we will increment the value of pos variable. Again, next else if case, right, we will check, suppose our array of I is right, less than 0, it means that that element of array is negative. So here we will increment neg variable, right? And in last we can see that we have, right, positive, we have mentioned positive, negative, so last will be, right, 0. So we can write here 0 also, array of I is equals 0, then we will increment a 0 variable, right? We can skip writing this condition also, because in last we have used else condition, but let's see, we have written so that it will clear for understanding the other one. And after ending this loop, we will get, right, count of this all three types of value inside this all three variable. Then after, what we have to do, we have to print, right, this one. So for printing this one, right, we will use print statement. So it will be system dot out dot, right, we will not use print, right? Suppose we will use, right, we have a value in pos variable, pos by n, so it will, right, it will give us integer value. So here we don't need integer value, we need, right, floating value after 6 decimal places. For this one we will use printf, right? And here same as in C, with in, right, C we are using, right, dual quotes. Inside this we are using format specifier. So here we will use percent 1.6. it means that we need 6, right, digit after decimal places, and here the type is float. So here we will use f, and we need, right, after each and every line we need a new line. So here we will use /n, and it will be, right, after we need to put comma here. So what it will do, it will divide this value position, right, by n, and it will print value as a this format, 1.6 format. It means that 6 value after decimal places, right? And we need to use the same for all three variable. So here we will use for negative, for 0, right, 0, right? So it is done with our program. So here we are not going to return anything, that's why we have to use here void. If we will return anything from this function, we will return, right here, return type of that value which we will return. So in this program we don't need to return any value, that's why we have mentioned here void. So let's run this program. You can see that, okay, they have given some, right, error. So let's see where we are doing mistake. Okay, here we are using equals operator, that's why it's giving error, because it is, right, in case of 0 and in case of greater than, right, positive, they also increment positive value, that's why it's giving error. So let's run this program this time, because we need only increment position value when element will be greater than 0. So you can see that after removing that equals from here, our output is coming true. Let's submit this program, it will check all test cases. So here you can see our all test cases are passed.